Buenas tardes. Nos encontramos ahora con Steven Smith de la Shoah Foundation con unas ideas innovadoras para luchar en contra no solo del antisemitismo, sino también del olvido de las atrocidades que ha cometido la humanidad, en especial del Holocausto. So thank you for being here with us.
Thank you for having me.
I'm going to ask you a question that we're asking all of our speakers. What is your personal definition of happiness?
Contentment. But it also goes beyond that. I'm a very driven person. I'm happy. We were hearing earlier from Carl about slowing things down. Well, I'm happy when I'm moving fast. So I was having really difficulty listening to him because nothing makes me happier than doing 5 things at once, waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning and trying to do them all. But one of the things that I learned recently is that, you know, one can build things and be very focused on the thing. And then you encounter a life-changing experience. In my case, I had a heart attack. And I suddenly realized that I'd spent my life doing things, actions. And then in the moment that I had to just be myself, I found it very difficult to stop. And so the thing that I learned at that point was, it's not what we do, it's who we are. Because when I build a house or make a painting or create a film, I'm doing something of which there is an object at the end of it. But when I am kind, when I am thoughtful, there is no object, it's just a relationship. And from those relationships, then the things that you will do will produce things that will be part of those values. That makes me happy.
That was a really profound and deep answer.
Thank you.
How do you think that education and awareness of the Holocaust and other genocides may help prevent future atrocities?
Well, you see, the thing is about this event and talking about the Holocaust is a profoundly sad event, an horrific event. So it feels like it doesn't fit in this conference. But in fact, it really does.
Okay.
Because if you think about it, the consequence of people's unhappiness was that they created anti-Semitism and racism that ultimately murdered other people, making them unhappy for generations to come, because they then have to live with the burden of that.
That's true.
If we can really value each other and trust each other, then what will happen is we'll create more inclusive societies where more people are happy more of the time, and then there will be less racism, less discrimination, and less genocide ultimately.
And more happiness.
And therefore more happiness because less people will be hurt and harmed.
And what's your opinion on the current state of tolerance and intercultural understanding in the world? How can we improve them?
It's a terrible situation right now. We are so polarized, it's almost impossible to break down the way in which people are thinking about each other in such extreme ways. I have been working in this field for 30 years, and I thought we were making good progress, and I think we've made terrible progress in the last 5 or 6 years in particular. Those of us who have the opportunity to vote for our governments, need to think very carefully about who we put into power. Those of us who teach children, or teach in universities, or live in communities, we need to do everything that we can to build bridges. We need all the bridges we can find right now, because at the moment we have a big chasm between us and no way to get across. The people that build those bridges are very brave, and we need more of them, but I find in my life that I meet many. I am an optimist by nature. I really do believe that people, even though I study genocide, I really do believe that at heart people are good, and Frank said it. I have studied it, and I think that people really are. But they are also very easily led. We've heard today at this conference about the importance of having your own sense of your own purpose and your own life mission. I think that was such wise advice that we heard today. Write it down, know who you are, because it might be that cancer comes to you and changes your life and you need to stick to your mission, but it also might mean that radicalization comes, or anti-Semitism comes, or extremism comes. You also need to know who you are and stick by who you are, so that those things do not change your core values.
Well, thank you very much.
Pleasure.